John Fortier, Senior Fellow with the American Enterprise Institute, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, with regard to the Hunter Biden conviction, why did the case take actually 6 years to try?
Well, of course, there was some controversy about some of the materials at first. I will add also that we had a change of administration, and there was a set of things going on with the case that looked like there might be a plea agreement where there would be no conviction and there would be just an agreement without prison time. And at the last minute, a judge looked at it and said, "Look, that's maybe a little too generous." And at least one of the charges, or a set of the charges, were then continued on and actually went to court. So a lot of twists and turns, and unfortunately happening close to an election, as some of our other cases are.
Okay, so the President of the United States, his son is convicted of 3 felony counts, guilty of lying to a federally licensed gun dealer, making a false claim on the application saying he was not a drug user, and then, of course, possessing the gun for 11 days. Now, when you look at this case and you look at history, and this is happening during an election year for President of the United States, what do you glean from this, and what do you find rather unique about the current environment with regard to a former president of the United States being convicted of a felony, the president of the United States, his son, being convicted of a felony?
Well, several things are unprecedented. Of course, a presidential candidate, former president, not only being convicted, but also having a number of other cases still potentially active out there against him, as well as the son of the president. I mean, one big takeaway is that we have been reluctant to take legal action against candidates and people related to the election as we get close to the election. And now that seems to be a norm that we've broken. So at the end of the day, what you think about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Joe Biden's son, I think the fact that we've got a lot more legal action in the middle of the campaign is not a good thing for anyone. And I think the hope is that ultimately the ballot box will decide differences first and foremost, and the legal cases will be something that doesn't interfere with that election.
How do you see the conviction of Hunter Biden? Where do you think it will end up going? Do you really think he'll serve any time? But was there anything unique about it other than that he was the son of the President of the United States?
Well, I think that's the main thing, and both sides will point to some ways in which they think the court should have been harder on Hunter Biden, or that they are bringing up a case that really isn't pushed forward very often or this far for other defendants. So I think there's some political discussion about this. Will he serve jail time? That's a little hard to know. I think it'll be, if it is, it'll be on the lower end of things, and ultimately, will it affect public opinion? I think as we have two well-known candidates, we have an election coming up, and with all this litigation, many people are starting to say, this is a little bit of politics, and we're going to go back to our priors rather than think about the outcomes of these cases.